Good evening. Hello. I'm very happy to meet you guys today. We bring the Discover Design to you by JS Institute of Design, and we have a very interesting designer talking to us today. The topic is Living Crafts with Sandeep Sangaru. You're going to meet him very soon. But before that, I'd like to say hello to everybody. This time, today, we have decided to change the time to the latter part of the day, uh, giving you more time to get back from your work and to be able to attend this webinar. The Discover Design is a series of webinar to bring to you some more the mysteries of design, to get you to clarify and understand what actually happens in it. And we do it by inviting experts in various aspects of design. They come and talk to you about their work, about the kind of projects they've done, and clarify a few things of what they think about the work that they are doing. So I hope you're going to enjoy the webinar today with Sandeep. Um, Meantime, let me just quickly give you some information about how to, in case, okay, one is that, let me introduce myself. My name is Nancy Au, and I head the JS Institute of Design, the academics of the JS Institute of Design. Meantime, I will be introducing Sandeep Sangaru a little bit expansively after the next slide. I do want to invite you to ask as many questions as you'd like to. He's going to talk about a lot of work that he's done with various material. So do put in your questions in question and answer box, and we will take up all these questions at the end of the session. So we'll see you then. In the meantime, Sandeep, let's see. Sandeep Sangaru is a designpreneur. He's a founder, director of Sangaru Design Objects Private Limited. It's a design-led manufacturing company based in Bangalore. He's also the founder of Sangaru Design Studio, which is a multidisciplinary design consultancy firm which explores different mediums and materials. He designs, manufactures, markets furniture products, accessories for contemporary urban homes, work and play, which bring together traditional knowledge and skills in crafts with design and technology to make objects of daily use invaluable, accessible, and enjoyable. We are going to see many of those projects or products as he explains, as he takes us through the journey. Besides that, he's also an educator, he's an entrepreneur, and he's a nomad by nature. I'd really love to hear a little bit more about that, and we'll see whether he's able to, we're going to get that, whether we understand what he means by that. His studio has been actively involved with the craft sector, working with local people, with local material to create global products. And this is very evident from some of his achievements. We will hear a little bit about that as well. So welcome, Sandeep. We are very happy to have you with us today. And we'd like to know definitely what all, if you'd like to start with showing us what all you've done and perhaps a little bit of the background.
Hello.
Yes, can you hear me, Sandeep?
Yeah. Good
Yes.
evening. Hope I'm audible to everyone. And yeah, thank you for the introduction. Being a nomad, yeah, that's why always wanted to be one as a kid growing up. My two goals in life were to travel and uh, and explore. And uh, I was a sincere student in the school, but I was never keen on studying. So I never focused on studying. So I would wander around figuring out stuff. So as any kid would open up things, put it together, and I would just do that. And I was more like a hands-on. I would actually build things up and do things which uh, interested in the mechanics of how things work and materials and everything, right from trying to fishing as a kid, catching earthworms and making hooks with simple bamboo poles and going into some isolated place, sitting trying to fish was also something I did as a kid when I was in, I think, class 5 or class 6. And my mother would always keep hunting for me, where this guy has disappeared. Yeah, so that's me. And I was looking at the professions that would allow me to do these things. And during that time, with no internet and no access to what kind of professions you can look other than being an engineer or a doctor or a accountant or a commerce, uh,
Mm,
uh, there was not much. Only thing that you would think of is fashion design, architecture,
mm,
um, and architecture one was one option that I was looking at. But then again, I was not so fascinated of to design buildings because I was more hands-on. I wanted to do something that's
mm,
uh, very small, and I can build it myself or things like that. The other option was to kind of trying to figure out, because we had a lot of family friends who were with merchant navy, and they would uh, be away traveling for as much time, and they would get a leave for as long as they travel. So I thought that was an interesting profession. Maybe I should do that, and they were well paid also.
oh, yeah.
So yeah, I would see the lifestyle. They would come back with a lot of this stuff from all over the world, and
Okay.
they have the little workshops. Someone is fascinated with bikes, or someone is fascinated with aero modeling and stuff like that. So they would have this little garage kind of a setup, and I was quite fascinated by how they were
Mm,
doing with their merchant navy as a profession. So yeah, uh, but I wanted to do undergrad in design, but I couldn't convince my parent about a future in that. So I went on to do engineering. Then my parents said, after engineering, you can do whatever you want to do now that you have a foundation, and if anything goes wrong, you can always fall back. So that so after engineering, I applied for an IDing and got through. Yeah, and from since then, it was a new road, it's a new direction, and um, as a campus and as peers and teachers there, it opened up a lot of doors. Uh, So while I was there, I studied furniture design because furniture was because in product design they said anything from a safety pin to an aeroplane is product. I said that's not
that's good.
happening after my engineering, so I would better stick to something furniture, which is again could be easily made. So because I wanted to be hands-on,
Okay.
so a lot of people advise me, being a mechanical engineer, why did you choose to do furniture design?
Mm-hmm.
You should have taken product design, and I said no, that's not I want to do because so yeah, I did furniture design, but meanwhile at NID, my mind wandered to other things like photography and cinematography, and we were a group of people who were keen on special effects,
Mm-hmm.
fans of Star Wars and movies like that, and we wanted to create something like that in India. So we, after graduation, we started a company in Hyderabad,
Mm-hmm.
which dealt with special effects, and we were all product designers and furniture designers doing this in the film industry. Uh, so it was a good experience for almost 3.5, 4 years I worked, but that was not my cup of tea in that industry. It allowed me to travel, it allowed me to explore and do things, but I think the industry has a different kind of, you need to have a different kind of mindset to work in that particular industry.
Mm-hmm.
So I was wondering what to do. Should I get back to furniture or should I take on doing some photography and cinematography? Because I worked as an assistant cameraman for a few years uh, in the film industry, and I thought cinematography is not happening again because that was also part of the industry. Uh, so I was wondering what to do next time, but I got a call from NID if I'd like to come back and join as a faculty to teach. And immediately I said yes because going back to NID was, yeah, it would give me more time to think, explore, and
Mm-hmm.
study it there. So I know what the place is. If you get a second opportunity, you should always go back to NID. Yeah, so I
Grab it.
just packed my bags. I had a small Jeep, a World War 1944 Jeep, and I drove down to Ahmedabad.
All right.
So
Wow.
yeah, being a nomad is like that. So I just pack my bags, put my stuff, and carry on. Uh, so after NIT, in those 2 years, it was a great experience. Being on the other side of the table, being a co-faculty with the teachers who taught me, because the gap was only 4 years, three,
Mhm.
4 years. So it was not uh, a, a vast gap for me to go back. Uh, Actually, there were uh, when I was studying when I was graduating, the people who have joined undergrad, they were still students when I went back. So yeah, it was like getting back to a familiar place.
Right.
So it was yeah. So during those 2 years, I explored more, and there were a couple of projects NID was working on. One was when MP Ranjan was setting up the institute at Tripura at BCDI, Bamboo and Cane Development Institute. He asked me to go and do a assignment course with the artisans there,
Mhm.
and it had to do with bamboo. And as told Ranjan, I have no idea of bamboo. My understanding of bamboo is ladders and scaffolding till now. I never worked with that material as such.
Okay.
Um, but behind my thought, I always wanted to go to Northeast and see because I've never been there. But I was born in Shillong, so I was a kid when I was born, and I've never seen that place as a grown up. So I thought I should take this opportunity to just go and see and explore how things shape up.
Mhm.
So Ranjan books my tickets and I go and land up there. And that's how my journey started. I'll just start the screen now. I'll share my slides. So there are some
Sure.
visuals to my. Can you see my slides?
Not yet, but I guess we're just waiting for it to open up.
Can you see? No.
Not yet. No. So meantime, while it opens up, I just want to ask you, do you still feel like a nomad?
Yeah, I'm still a nomad because I cannot sit at one place for too long.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, so I have to keep moving around for my mind to work.
Absolutely.
Otherwise, I feel, yeah, kind of, no, it's not happening. No, I'll just see.
Yeah, it isn't showing up yet.
Uh, can you try stop sharing and again sharing your
Yeah,
screen?
yeah, I'm just trying to do that. Yeah. You getting a visual?
Not yet.
It should not take so much time. Sorry for this.
Mhm. No issues. These are technical glitches which happen. Are you are now host disable participant screen sharing. Is that the problem?
No, sir is a co-host.
He is the co-host. So, all right. Well, while we wait for this to open up,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
just,
So, yeah,
yes. So, would you like to continue talking? Then maybe we can just do some, we continue talking and meantime wait for this to open up as well.
Sir, I think you can send me the slides and I can talk about, like I can show it.
yeah. Just a sec. I'll re-log in once.
Right. Okay. Okay. No issues.
No, the screen has disappeared.
So while we wait for Sandeep to join us, I just want to inform all our participants. He believes that teaching opportunities is like a refresher period for him, and he enjoys it a lot. So that is something which I believe a lot of designers practice, because they too use it as a time to get away from perhaps some of the mundane processes of design and implementation. These are the times when the designers, along with what Sandeep says, get is a period where when they interact with youngsters, such as the students, it helps them refresh their mind, gives them different perspectives, and perhaps introduces them to a lot of new thinking that is happening amongst the young learners. He also has a passion for photography and filmmaking. I think that's a lot of many skills put together, and he tries to use these mediums to document way of life in different regions. So it does help for designers to think vastly and differently when you are dealing with many more mediums beyond what you may have been trained in. So for in this case, Sandeep was trained in furniture design. I also want to inform you, which I am really going to question him on, is about the Red Dot Award. So I do know that he's been awarded the Red Dot Design Award for Trust Me in 2009, which was a furniture collection. And we will ask him why this name and what it is. So, Sandeep, meantime, while Harshita is uploading your presentation, let's have a little chat about um, how did you did start on bamboo and lacquer, I read. So would you like to tell us something about that?
Bamboo and lacquer. Yeah, I think I'll get back to where I stopped and I'll continue
Yes.
doing that. Yeah. Uh, uh, so yeah, I went to Tripura to kind of teach artisans about how to read a technical drawing and how to draw one, and mostly uh, teaching them to draw technical drawings and read a technical drawing and convert the drawing into a product. So the whole idea was for them to uh, give a skill where they can interact with designers, architects, and artists, and collaborate and take the craft forward, rather than just working on what they've been doing all this while. Because that was my assignment. But when I went there, I had no clue how to go about it. But I was very excited to be there. And what I saw there was uh, uh, as bamboo, how they use it in everyday life. Can you see the screen now?
No, I still don't see any visuals. Are you able to? Are you still operating it, Sandeep?
Yeah.
Mhm. So we are not able to see it yet.
Okay. We did the test and it worked.
So you can send the PPT to me. I can share the screen.
Yeah, the file is too heavy. I'm sending it, but it's not going at.
No, I'm sure it's a heavy file. That's why it's taking its
Yeah, I
time.
just sent it on. Just sent it. Just check if you can download. Yeah, so what I saw in Tripura kind of opened my eyes to what a material has to offer,
Hmm.
because they had, I could see bamboo fencing, bamboo houses, bamboo bridges, bamboo baskets.
Right.
Most of the things they use in their everyday life were made out of bamboo. Uh, But what we see as bamboo crafts, apart from in a craft bazaar or a emporium, would be more decorative products, not functional like how they used bamboo uh, uh, in their everyday life. So, as a product, as a furniture designer, studying industrial design from NID, it's looking at functional objects kind of uh, triggers a lot of things when you work, when you want to be hands-on and working with the material. So it triggered a lot of ideas and thoughts of how one material and one tool they could build so many different products.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, can you put it in a slide mode? Yeah. So what I saw was this was their everyday life. You see bamboo everywhere. Uh, you can just scroll through the slides. Can you do a slideshow instead of scrolling? Yeah. So um, until then, I had no understanding of how many species of bamboo were there. It's only when I started the class and I gave them some drawings for them to make a prototype. And one of my first products as a bamboo product I was trying to design, they would interact me and would tell me we should get this species of bamboo for this component and this for this thing. And I'd ask why they uh, what is the difference between this and that particular species of bamboo.
Mm-hmm.
So they would explain me, okay, the wall thickness is too thick, we need to remove a lot of material. The other one has a thinner wall thickness. If you're trying to make thinner strips, it'll be easier to make and it is more pliable to bend and stuff. So these are the little nuances I started to learn about that material. And I guess through the 8 weeks I was there, I learned more than I guess they learned anything from me. Uh, so my assignment got over, and I was wondering what should I take back as a remembrance to the whole experience, because I was still not sure that I'll be working in the craft sector. This was my first exposure working with artisans and crafts. So I thought I should take back something, and I wanted to just scroll up because we're not seeing the whole slide. Yeah, scroll. Yeah, down. Go forward. Yeah, yeah. So these are the different applications that you see around
Mm-hmm.
in bamboo. Uh, there are some examples of,
Fences.
uh, and this was very fascinating because these baskets they make for temples for
Mm-hmm.
as an offering, and every time when you offer in a temple, it has to be a new basket. So it was an industry in itself for the local market.
So just the
So
offering.
even a kid would know how to weave a basket before he even goes to school. So he knows how to quickly weave one and give it to the local distributor and make his pocket money. So yeah, that is a good way of, I think, self-sustenance, that you have a skill that you can uh, earn something and you are not depending on something else for you to being hanging on to for to get a livelihood. So that was a interesting connection that I felt there. So this was the first chair I designed for them to make a prototype. So here the backrest is made out of thin strips because I wanted to use a flex of bamboo to give that flexibility when you sit on it. And the structure was a different species of bamboo. It was a solid pole. It was called, we have called it Kaklamara bamboo because that's how we came to know, because Kaklamara is a village uh, in Tripura where most of the craftsmen were linked to NID and they were the master trainers. Uh, and locally it's called Kankais. And botanical name is a little complicated, but I'll tell the short oliveri. So it's a solid pole, and traditionally this pole was used for making fishing rods, pole vault poles, and it has a good tensile and mechanical properties. So it can withstand a lot of loads, and it's very straight and grows clean
Mm-hmm.
to be used. Yeah, can you go forward? So for a remembrance, I wanted to bring back something. On the left is a stool which I'd done before going there. So I thought it'll be appropriate to use bamboo to make this particular stool. Uh, but once I made the stool, because the seat was not made then, the seat was supposed to be canvas. I thought I'm just taking 3 bamboo poles, not much. I could do that anywhere. So I was wondering if I could make a seat out of bamboo as well, which is shaped like the canvas seat that I have.
Mm.
And we ended up doing this particular construction. And when we made this, can you go forward? Uh, the artisans and the craftsmen told me, Sandeep, we never used bamboo like this traditionally before, and this is something new.
Mm.
And I think that was my moment of eureka. Okay, this is something I cracked without even trying hard. Uh, so I left that whole stool. I just got back from there with that little triangle module, and it was a long flight from Agartala to Ahmedabad. I had to change, I think, 2 flights from Agartala to Calcutta, Calcutta to Mumbai, and Mumbai to Ahmedabad, and I was carrying it in my hand, and it became a topic of conversation with the passengers of in the while I was waiting for the next flight,
Okay.
and they would ask, "What is this that you're carrying?" I said, "It's something I made. Now I don't know what it is." But I kind of, for my second stop, I realized, okay, I can use this as a stool to sit on.
Oh.
So can you move forward? Yeah. Uh, yeah, sorry, I don't have that picture here. Yeah, so it converts into a stool. Can you go forward? Yeah.
Mm.
So I basically demonstrated it. Oh, this is a stool that I can sit on while I travel. Something not thought about. It was not designed to be used like this, but it just happened while playing around with it. And and from that moment, I felt I should explore this technique further and take it along. And I came back to the campus. And can you go forward? Yeah, so I explored different forms and shapes to use this particular technique, just to try out its possibilities.
Mm.
So we had 2 artisan craftsmen in Ahmedabad NID campus with the Bamboo Center. So I worked with them.
Mm.
Go forward. Yeah. So this was a crutch. So I was trying to make it more functional as something that, uh, because this construction had a beautiful form factor to it. It was unique, as bamboo was never used like this, and I was still not aware. Once I showed this to Ranjan, he was quite excited, and he said, "Why don't you just explore and make few more things and see how it shapes up?"
Mm.
Um, so yeah, next slide. So I started working with Sisir De Burma, who was a master craftsman. Next slide. So I started making a lot of these modules. So that is Sisir there.
Mm.
So it was a bench. We made a small module of it, but the concept was to make a long round bench. Can you move forward? Yeah. So these few things I explored. Then there was another project, Handmade in India, the book. Uh,
Mm.
and Aditi Ranjan asked me to, if I could go and document Andhra Pradesh for the book. So I was quite excited again, because let me go travel, photograph, meet people. And that's when I understood the gamut of craft practices we have in our country, and which we are never exposed to. And again, the similar contextualization happened for me. I try to see what they make for themselves for their own use and what they make for selling,
Mm.
and they were completely different things. Because the one they make for themselves takes much longer time, of course, because they want something to be perfect and it has to function. It's not decorative. Uh, so those products were quite unique in a way. And different crafts I documented, from leather puppetry to crochet work to carpets to bronze casting, bronze vessels, brass vessels,
Right.
and a lot of these things. So it kind of opened my eyes as an industrial designer to see how someone can convert a thought, an idea quickly in sitting in the veranda or in the kitchen, uh, getting these things churned up. And that's when I decided I'm going to work with craftspeople and the craft sector. Can you move forward? And I started my studio, and one of the first projects I got was from Kashmir, which I'll talk to you a little later. But the second one was again from Northeast in Tripura, where they invited me to can I come back and work with the artisans there to create a range of products that can be commercialized and taken forward by the Tripura Bamboo Mission and the Tripura government. And then I showed them this thought I had, and I said I'll work on this idea that I developed a few years back, and I'll create a range of products because I had many ideas by then. Then they said, okay, let's take it forward, and we did this uh, project, which went on for almost 1.5 to 2 years, and we created all these prototypes, and all the artisans had no clue what they were making, and this was a new technique for them. Can you move forward? And all the while we were making, they would say, Sandeep, it toot jayega, this will break off and it won't work. It's very thin. But I said, let's try and see how it works and stands. At least we'll know how it is breaking and where it's breaking and if there's any scope improvement after that. Next slide. Uh, so we made these prototypes. I made a system how to assemble and put it together quickly. And if you see this chair from the profile, it's very thin. It's like 8 to 10 mm, and they were not very sure whether it would stand. But once we assembled and put it together, next. Uh, uh, so yeah, trying it out and sitting on it was a moment, because even I haven't tried it doing before. So it was first time for everyone. Me working with bamboo. With a new group of artisans, and Sisir was my assistant then because he had already worked on few prototyping, so he had the knowledge of how to take it and train the other people. Yeah, next. So yeah, we sat on it, jumped on it, nothing happened.
Played with it.
So yeah, so then I came back, and the project never took off after that. The commercialization of the products never happened because this was a radical thought of using bamboo, and it needed much longer time for it to be developed. You needed to train people, build the products, prototype, refine them. Uh, there were no budgets, or maybe I don't know. They didn't see a scope of commercializing it immediately, so it never took off. Uh, so I was kind of in a situation. I spent so much time and effort to build something conceptually new, and it didn't see the face of the market, or no one could experience the furniture or the products that were made.
Right.
So one day, one of my interns was there in my studio, and he asked me if I could send it to the Red Dot Design Award. I had no clue what Red Dot was.
Okay.
Then I asked him, what is Red Dot Award? He said it's like the Oscars of design, and it's not a competition. It's like you send your work and they have a jury, and if your work is uh, worth it, they'll give you the award. So you're not competing with another person or an individual or a design. So it's solely your work there they will be judging. Or so then I said, okay, let's try. Then when you enter, you have to pay. So every stage you have to pay. If you win, also you have to pay. So I was wondering, what is this? Then I understood. Okay, this is basically a system of jury where they evaluate your work, and if your work stands out, you'll get an award. So we applied, we paid the fee, but I forgot about it to submit the entry in time. So one day we were in Kashmir, in Srinagar, and we got an email that tomorrow is the last date. You have to submit it by some time. Since we're in a different time zone, we got few hours extra. So, and that time Kashmir had a curfew and no internet was down. It was in 2009, 2008, 2009. So we sat down and we made this slide. This was the presentation I sent it to Red Dot. So I'm just showing you this slide. This was the first slide where I showed the concept. Can you go up, up, up? Yeah. No, go to that slide. Yeah, this one. One which was there. already. Just slide before this. Yeah,
Yes, Harshita. There.
yeah.
Yes.
So this was the page that I sent,
Mhm.
and we sent it, and I named it "Trust Me" because we had to give a name to the project.
All right.
Uh, so the whole idea of because over the period of time, also while I was working with bamboo, a lot of people didn't trust bamboo as a material. Everyone considered it to be something like an use and throw outdoor material, not to be used indoors. Uh, Easily replaceable. So it was considered to be more like an affordable or a cheap material. And a lot of people would say it's a poor man's timber. So
Mhm.
the poor and the cheap and everything was associated with the material. And it doesn't last long. You get termites and all that. And while I was working on this concept, all my craftsmen said it'll break and it won't work. So the
Mhm.
whole concept, I thought we should give a name which kind of you can trust me. Uh, as a name, but since this concept works on triangles and truss is a form of structural uh, term, I named it Trust Me. So it kind of has this meaning of both that it's a structure and you can trust me as a material and as a concept. And we submitted the email and we forgot about it. And one day my mom calls up and said, "You got a mail and it has a letter saying you won an award and you have to pay so many dollars."
So even if you win, you have to pay.
So so mom was wondering what it is. Then I said I was traveling at that time, so I said I'll come back and have a look. So I got back home and I saw, and I had won that concept had won the red dot best of the best. So
Wow.
among all entries, it had won the best of the best, and of course that was the turning point. Can you move forward? Uh, because after that, it got published everywhere,
Correct.
and people got to see. Can you go forward? I don't know why this slide is here. Yeah. Can you zoom out? So I started getting emails and letters from a lot of people around the world asking me if they could buy the furniture and they could exhibit the products somewhere in design shows and museums. And I had no resources or materials with me to send there.
Mhm.
And people wanting to buy them, that was another thing. So I tried to contact the people I worked with, craftsmen. We got some order. Can you make them?
Mhm.
And we, and I'll just act as a middleman. Just I'll get the order and you get it done. But it was not taking off because it was a new concept and no one was trained to make something and ship it. So that's when I started this company in 2010.
Mhm.
This was our studio where I'm talking to you from. Now it's full of trees and bamboo around, so you don't see it like this anymore.
Mhm.
Um, so this is how we started. I asked two craftsmen to come over to Bangalore, um, and we took up this space which belongs to a friend, and we just kick started with no money in hand. Started a business of trying to produce and sell, and it took me another 3 years to sell my first product. Not because people were not ready to buy, but we were not ready yet to take it to the market. Meanwhile, a lot more things happened. We could send some prototypes for shows and exhibitions in different parts of the world. We won some more awards for that. And that also allowed me to travel a bit and interact with people abroad and other shows where these are exhibited. So I could actually get a quick feedback from the international audience and designers. Uh, so all the feedback I got was they appreciated the whole concept and the idea, uh, but the craftsmanship had to improve a lot. Uh, so that took me another 3 years for me and my craftsmen, my team, to kind of refine the whole system of making. Can you move forward? So yeah, it was a journey that was a collaboration. It was I could never do this with the help of the team I had who believed in me, because at that time we never had funds, so we would actually borrow money and I would just make this happen because I had to give my craftsmen something to survive and they would manage with whatever I could give them. But the whole idea was to do something. Yeah, move forward. So this was actually realized the bench later. And here you see Manoranjan, who joined me then. He still works with me. Sisir also works with me till now. So the team that I started long back, they're part of the whole team. Sisir manages my workshop in Tripura now. We have a workshop there, and Manoranjan on the top slide with a strip t-shirt. He's been here with his wife. Both of them work with me,
Oh, wow.
and yeah, it's been a
So
10-year long
Sandeep,
journey.
while we have heard a lot of your journey still continues, I'm sure, but I want to ask our participants to, I'm sure they've been hearing you and they've been seeing a lot of work happening on the screen, and I want to check out whether they are able to understand what we are doing. So I'm going to put a poll question, is that fine, so that
Yeah,
the participants can also give in their understanding. Can we
yeah,
have the poll question, please? Okay. Okay, since we have seen a lot of joineries and Sandeep has also talked a little bit about it. What are the differentiating features between a timber chair and a bamboo chair? Okay, so these are the options: joinery details, form flexibility, machinery for production, raw materials availability available over the country. So go ahead, put in your answers that you think is correct. And we are going to ask Sandeep what he thinks of it. Okay, so here, Sandeep, I want you to help our participants understand what do you, would you help us understand the material better or the differences between the two better?
yeah. Of course, we see form flexibility is what most of them answered,
Yeah,
uh, and raw material availability of the country, machinery. Yeah, yeah. It's I think uh, difference between timber and bamboo is they're different forms altogether. Bamboo is hollow and it's round and it is just you cannot convert into any other shape other than making strips or thinner slivers.
hmm,
So there is a challenge there, but that gives you more flexibility because when you see how it can be used in many different functions, which I showed you earlier. Uh, Not this slide. You just keep on to that slide earlier one. Uh,
Harshita, go
no,
back.
no, no.
No,
Go
no.
go back to bamboo. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you see in this slide, this is a tetrahedron that you see put together.
Hmm.
So that allows you, if you have an imagination, that that particular pole of bamboo can be converted into many shapes, and it gives you a different language of structure and form.
Right.
Yeah, and a timber can do that also, but in timber grows slow. Bamboo grows really fast. It's
Hmm.
a grass technically, uh, so it's a woody, tall grass, and it's very more sustainable than timber in terms of the growing time. All natural materials are sustainable if it's used appropriately. So
Right.
bamboo has its strengths and it can be used in different applications. We cannot replace timber with bamboo or bamboo with timber. So we need to work with materials. But bamboo, I feel, it gives you more flexibility to do a very fine product to a very structurally architectural product. So yeah,
Right. Yes. Please go ahead.
yeah. So these are basically my explanation. Can you just go ahead forward? Yeah. So this is the collect.
Mm-hmm.
This is the collection of products using the same technique, and we are still adding to it.
Mm-hmm.
Can you just move forward? These are just product pictures and the making pictures.
Right.
So this is my team, and we have introduced your question of lacquer. Can you just stop here for a bit?
Now,
Initially, you had asked me a question on bamboo and lacquer,
yeah,
and
correct.
of course, bamboo is a beautiful material. It has a nice texture, but the kind of products that I was making, I thought I can give in more depth or add more value to it by bringing in uh, aspect of color. Otherwise, it's all one color product.
Mhm.
So I tried using paint and other synthetic colors, but it never. It looked synthetic and it looked like a paint job.
Mhm.
Chennapatna was closed. I was quite fascinated by the craft of toy making in Chennapatna, where they use a lot of lacquer to color the toys. The uniqueness of that lacquer toy was they were transparent. You could see the wood beneath,
Mhm.
and you can appreciate the material, which is it's not hidden. It's there, and so I thought, wow, how can I use this lacquer on bamboo? So here you see Muniraj. So Muniraj was a discovery. When I started the workshop, he was helping me. He was a gardener, so he would do all kinds of jobs for me, plumbing to gardening to maintaining the space and stuff like that. Then I told him, would you like to get trained in finishing? Because I was not able to get people who could finish, just do finishing as because that's a job by itself.
Mhm.
Uh, so he said, okay, I'll give him my hand. So I trained him how to lacquer, and he's now an expert. Now he gives me inputs on what to be done. So now I know that okay, I can completely trust him, and I can just he knows what he has to do. So the lacquering was an addition when we started was for a project in China. We did a hotel there,
Mhm.
and they wanted red as an accent to the furniture, and that's how this whole experiment started. And red was the first color we used. So it takes a while to lacquer bamboo because we have to do lots of coating to get the richness of the color because they're all natural pigments and natural lacquer.
Mhm.
Unlike Channapatna, this is a different process where we make a liquid out of the polish and the lacquer and the pigments and we apply it.
Wow.
So the hotel project happened and everyone was quite happy there with the uh, furniture. Can you just stay?
Come, come down. Yes.
So the story was cut briefly. The owner of the hotel, who had become a good friend by then, had good feedback on the furniture. Can you just move up? The slide is in between half of that and half of this. Yeah. No, the one below. Yeah. So he said we should make a special edition, and because he had a lot of clients, it was a boutique hotel,
Mhm.
and he had quite exclusive clients coming and staying in that hotel, and they would appreciate the furniture a lot, and they would ask if they could buy any of them. Then the whole idea came about to Yuan, who runs the show there.
Mhm.
Uh, can we make a special edition and we can sell it actually at a much higher price than that you sold me the furniture for the hotel? Uh, then I said, what special can we do? Then the whole lacquering exercise came.
Mhm.
And once we made the whole lacquer exercise and we could actually build a piece, he was saying, what price should we sell it at? Because for me, it was just like another 5,000 extra to make it. But he said, no, we cannot make it, sell it at another extra 5,000. We have to sell it at double the price or triple the price.
Okay.
So we were not sure about how to place it in the market and how to cost the product because here it's a perceived value of the product we were talking about. One
Correct.
was when you do a product and when you produce, you have a certain formula. You have the cost of the material, you have the cost of the wages that you spend, and the overheads of the company. Then you add a certain percentage for your things, profit, and that's how it's calculated. But here it was there was no guidelines for us to kind of take forward. So one of the Christie's director was staying in that hotel, and I think Joanne threw the idea about this concept, and the Christie's curator she suggested these are really nice products. Why don't we take up the special edition to the auctions at the Christie's?
Oh,
And we'll know the value of it if it gets auctioned at a
correct.
price.
Wow.
We can figure out a value of where they stand. So the first one happened in Shanghai,
Mhm.
and the second one happened in London the year after in and they were sold at a really good price. And so yeah, the whole journey started from a village to
Amazing.
exploring, and it got
Amazing.
finally auctioned at Christie's under the contemporary arts and design section.
Wow. So
So
one
yeah,
to another.
yeah. So that just took one to another.
Yes.
So I guess we have the scope in our country to produce something if you collaborate and push ourselves to create something new.
Correct.
And this whole exercise uh, gave me the strength to kind of, okay, there is scope. We were not making any money till now. We were like still living on borrowed money and loans and stuff, because the scale of sales that we expected to have was not happening, because the cost of making of these products were always already high.
Correct.
Can you move on to the next slide? So the challenges were many. One was the material, being bamboo. It was new to everyone. So these are a few exhibitions where they were displayed and put up.
Yeah.
So it went all over the world. It was published all over with all kinds of publications from Brazil to Peru to China. I don't know where all it got published. And I would actually get a lot of these emails, inquiries about things. But here, on one end, we are not able to produce at a cost factor that would have access to a wider range of market.
Okay.
But a lot of people suggested this is a unique set of furniture. You don't have to cut the cost of this particular range, but maybe you can think of developing other collection of products in bamboo where it, it could be designed in such a way that they're much more affordable
Right.
and they can be produced in numbers, and a larger market segment can have an access to it. Because most of my time goes in designing the production rather than designing the product. Uh,
Right. Thank God
kind
for
of
that. Thank God for that, Sandeep. That's why we see something new happening.
Yeah, so it took me first 3 years to sell my first chair, because we were pushing ourselves to create the perfect chair or the bookshelf without no flaws and perfect in every aspect that it can go to Christie's one day. We never thought that it'll go there, but it happened because we pushed ourselves to achieve that kind of quality. But it had its own costs tied with it.
Correct.
Uh, so yeah, so as a designer, that gives me another challenge if I can use bamboo to make more affordable products,
Right.
uh, and that would generate. So we are working on different collections
Right.
right now. Can you go up?
Sandeep, I have something to ask you.
Yeah,
Uh, right. One is while see we have a choice. Since we have very little time, I do want you to continue showing your presentation, which
it's
means
almost done, I think. Yeah,
no, but we have some questions, and I was wondering whether you'd like to continue to talk about your work, which is because that is really interesting, and
I'm
perhaps
good. I'm good.
I can request my participants to get. I will send the answers to you definitely directly from Sandeep, but they can come to you. We will send it forward it to you on mail. In the meantime, can we spend a little more time hearing what Sandeep has to say about his work? If you are okay with that, Sandeep, then we can.
Yeah,
I'd
I'm good.
like to really hear more about your work, about the products that you are showing here.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah,
Okay, thank
yeah.
you. So let's move on. Great.
So you just can scroll up. This is basically showing details of the products,
Right.
what goes. This is the hotel that I was talking about in China.
Right.
Can you go up? Uh, so this is the old Buddhist monastery which they converted into a boutique hotel.
Okay.
Uh, yeah, can you go up? Yeah.
What's the longevity of these products?
So this hotel opened in 2011. It's 10 years now,
Okay.
and we started in 2010. Uh, and that was our first project. Actually, the first set of products which we made went there.
Mhm.
Uh, so they're still sitting strong there with no complaints. So I guess yeah, they have a life if they are looked after, like any other timber
Correct.
product. If you put it out in the sun and rain, it'll obviously uh, have its own time. Can you
But
move
they
up?
have
There,
fungus or termite problems like for timber?
Like bamboo is a unique material. It grows really fast. It's a grass, so it has to be treated, harvested, uh, and taken care while you're doing that process, because it grows to its full length in 3-4 months.
Right.
And to onlooker, all the bamboo poles look the same,
Mm.
uh, but they age, they mature over a period of time. So you have to harvest when it's matured.
Mm.
Second, you have to harvest in a particular time of the year when it's not active in its life cycle, because it's a fast growing thing. It has a very active growing cycle. So during the dormant phase of its life cycle, we have to harvest the mature bamboo, because otherwise the mature bamboo is giving strength to the rest of the new bamboos. So it's not so strong when you harvest it in a unappropriate time. So yeah, it has to be harvested. And after harvesting, bamboo has a lot of sugar starch content in it. It has to be removed, uh, which attract termites, and because it's edible, it's
Mm.
sweet.
Mm.
So pandas and elephant eat raw, fresh bamboo.
Correct.
Uh, it's nutritious. It's like sugarcane when it's new,
Mm.
but for us it's still stronger. Uh, so yeah, you need to take care while doing that. So once you do that, the longevity of the product that you make out of that bamboo is as good as any timber that you can have access to.
Correct. Okay.
Yeah, so the trust me continued, and we keep building more products out of it.
Right.
And lights, so smaller products, and sometimes I get these bespoke projects to do
Is that
installations.
a
So
garment? Oh my.
this was done. So yeah, it's a garment. It's made out of bamboo. It's a sculptural garment.
Mm.
It was for a store in London called Varana.
Mm-hmm.
So we got this project where I was asked if I can do a few sculptural pieces with bamboo.
Wonderful. Really interesting. Wow.
Yeah, so that's my bamboo story.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Oh, thank you so much,
Thank
Sandeep.
you.
Uh, we perhaps have just very little time. Would you like to just quickly help us understand the walnut woodwork which you worked on, and a bit of the Jannapatna woodwork which you mentioned a bit about? Would you like to
Yeah, I'll
just
just quickly go through it.
very quickly?
So Kashmir was my first project, and the first challenge I was given by craftsmen there was if I could make a knockdown furniture,
Mm-hmm.
because the furniture was really bulky, and most of the furniture in Kashmir came after the British came there. The colonial furniture was given there, and their main art and craft was with walnut was carving. They would do a lot of beautiful carving on it, and they would do nice boxes and all that for their own use locally in
Right.
the architecture applications and stuff like that. But they never made furniture. Furniture came in when British came in, and the colonial furniture was a style they started off with. But the carving on the furniture was traditional Kashmiri motifs,
Right.
and that was their furniture part of the craft. And when I went there, they said our furniture is very bulky. We cannot ship it in small packets, and the transportation goes higher. Can you design something that is
Mm.
knocked down? I thought it'll be easy. I thought I'll get some good German hardware. We'll make some chairs, put that hardware, and it should work.
Yeah.
Uh, but then I understood it doesn't work because the material behaves very differently. Walnut is a very finicky material. It warps and bends, and every plank is a different plank. But if you see the grains on this back of the chair, uh,
Mm.
they don't allow the bamboo to be bamboo, the walnut wood to be very stable.
Mm.
So that's a skill and knowledge the artisan craftsmen have there. So
Mm.
they don't finish the product immediately. They work slowly on it.
Mm.
Uh, so while they're working, it seasons and cures and stabilizes itself. So it took me a while to figure out the knockdown thing, and this is what we made the first share. So I had to go back to traditional techniques. Not any German hardware would help making a knockdown furniture.
Okay.
So I looked into a lot of techniques that they already use. Can you go up? and it's a completely wood construction, no metal hardware here. And but we had to do fine tuning details to it so that the chair stands and it doesn't fall apart. Uh, so there are very fine design details that go into making this chair. If they are not taken care of, this chair doesn't work. So
Right.
yeah, can you just move forward? So I didn't design much. Yeah, so we just focused on. So I took inspiration from the local architecture there
Mm-hmm.
because the furniture they were making was a colonial furniture influence, and over the period of time, the form, proportion, and the structure didn't uh, have any strong linkages to that particular colonial furniture, but had taken its own form,
Mm.
which didn't have a language on its own, only apart from the motifs that were on the furniture that you can relate to Kashmir.
Right.
So I thought I should take something more stronger as an inspiration because the local architecture is quite strong there and it has a very definitive language. And I could use that in the structure and the form of the furniture so that to make something unique that kind of connects to the space. Because as designers and when you work with a traditional art form, in this context, Kashmir, it had a very strong language, unlike bamboo in Northeast. In bamboo in Northeast was a way of life. For them to use bamboo and evolve with it was a way of life.
Mm.
So they didn't have any constraints of how it to be used.
Mm.
But here, when you look at a craft form, it has a certain language. The motifs have to be there. Otherwise, it would look very Scandinavian or something else. So
Alien.
we have to use the local language into that. So I thought,
Mm.
work with the architecture. Can you go up and bring in these elements into the furniture?
Mm-hmm.
So this is Ashraf here,
Mm-hmm.
who I started working. He was the first person agreeing to work with me. So it's a collaboration. We give a sketch, then he sketches out. Then there are his team who shape the wood. So it was quite
Mm.
fascinating to see how they work with the tools.
Mm.
And so it took a while. So I started the journey in Kashmir when I started the journey in bamboo in 2004. Uh, then I've been showing these pictures to a lot of people. Then people said, "Why don't you make this and sell also?" Then how the whole idea of starting making it in Kashmir was also initiated.
Mm.
Because all these projects I worked on earlier, never uh, you could never see the products coming to a market. So it was more like a workshop, a project where when this project is done, it's shut and closed case.
Mm.
Uh, and I was also wondering as a designer whether my designs are working or not working.
Mm.
So yeah, it gave me an opportunity. Okay, and since people are liking it, why not start making them and bring in these products to the market? So this is the latest chair.
Mm.
This is also a complete knockdown. It falls apart, and I stuck to one form, circle,
Mm.
uh, as an element of design. Uh, I don't know if it relates to Kashmir, but the whole philosophy behind it was in Kashmir, all the things revolve around Islamic geometry as a proportion to work with. And circle is a starting point of any geometry. Uh, I, I thought take that in that abstract form of a circle and let's see if I can make a chair. This has a swivel back, so it kind of moves, and this has a nice teacup holder on the side. Uh, yeah, can you move forward? Yeah, and it's a complete knockdown. It's all hand shaped and hand carved. So when they say Sandeep, इसमें तो कुछ carving ही नहीं है. There's no carving on this particular chair. I said you're shaping the wood. It's a part of carving, and the wood is so beautiful.
Mm.
When they do all these motifs with flowers and roses and lotuses, can you just keep at that slide? It looks the texture of the wood is lost, and the
Mm.
beauty of the wood as it is, the walnut is such a nice and beautiful wood. It is lost. So I just showed them few techniques where we can actually bring out the character of the wood, but still have carving on it. So one of the forms was to do this. Here they just follow the grain on each plank. So every plank has a different grain structure. So this texturing changes as the grain structure changes.
Mm.
So every chair is unique in its own way.
Mm.
and we insert this little flowers in between, so uh,
No.
it just pops up when you see closely. So yeah, can you
Very
go to the next slide? Yeah, quickly. So this was another carving technique that I introduced, looking into the local architecture there again.
mm,
Can you go down? Yeah, so that's the chair. Again, you see the beauty of the wood, and there is still carving on it. And it again is taken from the proportions of the architecture building locally.
right.
Someone one can relate to that. Yeah, can you go up? Yeah. So this is the process where you make quick mock-ups with plywood, then we try to convert them into prototype. So it's a long, slow process. But one interesting thing with craft is it just comes up in front of you. You don't have to wait uh, for machines to be introduced into the whole process.
Right.
Can you go up? Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, the process of making the slides, then figuring out how to carve, because if something new comes up, it becomes a challenge. Until you practice for a bit, you get fluency in it as a technique. So this is how the chair components are. It folds apart. Yeah. There's a lot of other projects I can talk about, but I guess we are running out of time.
Yes, that's true. And I'm very sure I'm going to be chasing you some more time to share with our participants the kind of work done by you. Very interesting. And would you be able to answer one question? I mean, this question's
Yeah.
right in front of my eyes, so I thought let me just ask you. Okay. Does a special edition, especially
Hmm.
when auctioned, also need to be limited edition
Yeah,
if it
it's a
is
limited
auction?
edition. Yeah.
Does it have to be? Yes, I guess. At least at that point.
Yeah, it's a limited edition. It's a numbered edition. Uh, so yeah.
So I hope Atrey, you are okay with the answer. Thanks for sharing that with us, and I am going to look forward to many such meetings with you. Of course, when you have the time, I do think that
Sure.
you know the deep inside of how you went about it. So it's not just about being able to reach a large market and feeling successful, but every step of the way when we heard you talk about your struggles to figure out a material, the techniques which work best with certain kind of material has been most interesting. And I'm sure those of you who are listening here and have similar interest are not going to feel very alone, because Sandeep, with all his experience, still had those challenges, faced them, and at many points I can still say that that's a struggle all designers face throughout. So thank God it's a good community and we sort of understand each other. But I do want to thank you. I do, if I may, I will be posting the questions to you, and we would like to help all the questions to be answered a little later, not right away, of course. And we will post those answers back to you.
Sure.
Thank you so much. Bhavya, I'm so sorry. There's one. Can I just quickly, Bhavya, you're the last
Yeah.
person. I'm not going to take anybody else. One question from Bhavya. Have you tried something with mats as well as in bamboo? As well in bamboo? Or as much in, what is it? Have you tried something with mats?
Yeah. Bamboo mats. If that's the question, or bamboo weaving in general.
Yeah, probably. Yes.
Uh, Mats are already a finished form of product. Uh, I think the weaving is a technique that I want to explore. I've been experimenting with it, but not cracked it yet, uh, because again, challenges need to build a team who are good weavers, uh, and we should have some strong idea to take it forward. Uh, so I'm working on it. Hope to have something soon. Yeah.
I think as much as I can add on right now at the end of this session, I do think a lot of your success, although your success is also about taking along your craftsmen, you know, getting your craftsmen to be included into your journey, and that's where I hear a lot of, you know, step by step moving ahead, something happening, and I do think you're going to find continuous success there, Sandeep, as long as you continue doing in this manner. So thank you
Thank you.
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you
Thank
to
you.
all the participants. We will see you soon again. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye bye.